You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals, presented by Hazelton Honda.
Welcome inside Frank Chikoski Stadium. We're in Nanticoke, Luzerne County. Tonight, it's a Wyoming Valley Conference Division II matchup as undefeated Crestwood takes on winless Nanticoke. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide, and welcome to a beautiful night for high school football. Joining me tonight, Jan Cechek, former Tunkhannock area coach. Hannah O'Reilly will join us shortly. And Coach, the great equalizer in all these games are injuries, and that's what the Comets are going to face here tonight.
They certainly are. Their starting quarterback, Ryan Petrosky, is out. They're going to be starting their sophomore quarterback, which has not yet been determined. Coach is going to keep that a surprise for us this evening. He has high expectations for this team and his players, and his sophomore quarterback has those same high expectations put upon him.
The Comets are going to miss Petrosky's 5 touchdowns. So who do they look for? Well, they might look for a defensive end and tight end, Logan Arnold. He's our Toyota Spotlight player.
Logan Arnold is their captain this year. He's a leader by example on and off the field. Coach Arcangeli also said that this young man is being recruited by a lot of the PSAC schools.
Nanticoke, meanwhile, boy, they started a schedule with 2 of the toughest teams in the league.
They certainly
Losses
did.
to Williamsport and Lake Lehman. They have some talent on the team, and they like to run the ball, so we'll see a lot of our other Toyota Spotlight player, and that's Devin Lohman.
Devin Lohman is a scrappy type of Trojan that Coach Bruza has here, that the type of kids, he gets out after it. He was their leading rusher last year as a junior, and now they're going to be leaning on his legs to run that wing T.
As I mentioned, another beautiful night for high school football. Let's check in now with Allie Debicki from the Fox 56 News first at 10.
Hey everybody, another gorgeous night for football. Crestwood at Nanticoke. Look at this, temperatures holding to the low 70s as kickoff goes on as we head through halftime, dropping slightly to the mid 60s. Still not bad for this time of year, but you can see we are dry across the board as we head throughout this evening with a light breeze tonight across the area. We'll talk more about your forecast coming up at halftime, but for now we'll send it over to the field.
Nanticoke leads the series. Can they pull off the upset here tonight? It's the Comets and the Trojans next.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
And here come the Trojans, home for the second time this year, trying to pick up win number 1 on the season. Welcome back. Beautiful night for high school football. There you can see fans in the stands, Jan Cechek. And to talk more on that, let's join Hannah O'Reilly and see what Nanticoke did here tonight.
We are so excited to be back for another night of Friday Night Rivals. We are in Nanticoke, who has both their cheer and band here tonight, making sure that everyone stays riled up. Now, for those of you at home who might not know this, it's up to the school district that we're at to decide how many people come through these gates for game night. So Nanticoke has decided to let their band, cheerleaders, and football team have 2 tickets each, while Crestwood was given 100 to disperse however they want. Now, Crestwood's cheer and band are not here tonight, so it really falls on Nanticoke to make sure that everyone stays riled up, but I think they can handle it. Bob, Jan, back to you guys.
Thank you, Hannah. And there you can see, yes, Crestwood was allotted 100 tickets to do what they want. They came in a separate entrance. Face masks, of course, you have to wear a face mask. Social distancing is required. So it's great to have that atmosphere, Jan, isn't it, back?
Having the band, the cheerleaders, and the fans, more importantly. What a great way for these senior parents to see their kids play football one last time.
Owen Brown tees it up for the Trojans. They won the toss, they deferred. It's DeMarzo and Cruiser back to take the Lackawanna College kickoff to get this game underway. A little squibber taken by one of the up men. He loses it momentarily, but Crestwood will take over on the 33-yard line. So as we talked about in the pregame, we will see Noah Schultz, sophomore quarterback, making his first start ever. A lot of zeros on there, a lot of pressure on this sophomore.
There is, and the expectations, as we alluded to at the pregame, that he's going to just have to settle down. Hopefully, coach is going to give him some nice, short, quick completions to get that confidence going, and we're going to have ourselves a great ball game tonight.
Well, they can run the ball. They average, just about 97 on the ground, 183 through the air. Fumbles haven't been a problem on the year. They've lost 3 so far. Points not a problem, 25.4 points per game. So the first snap of Schultz's career will be in the shotgun. Kreitzer on the reverse, a little jet sweep, picks up a nice gain. Here now the Hazleton Honda backfield. It's Hawley, the senior, and Harding in the backfield for Crestwood. There you see the receivers, DeMarzo Cruiser, and we talked about Logan Arnold. Up front on that left-hand side, Coach, all sophomores, a junior and a senior on the right-hand side.
And they've been doing a great job this year. I know Coach Arcangeli has been really trying to get them to gel, and they really have responded very well.
First pass from Schultz, out to Kreitzer. Good defense out there by Jaskulski. Third down on the way.
If you watch this is a tough pass for a first-time quarterback to throw, and he did a nice job. He had protection, got the ball right there, and it's a great pitch and catch.
Because of the juniors' great defensive play, no gain, so third down on the way, but looks like we might have a penalty. We do.
Replay second down.
So legal block in the back on Crestwood, so that backs up the sophomore quarterback. Bring up second and long.
That's always tough because when you have one of your receivers coming into stalk block, and when the defender turns his back, all of a sudden now it's a push in the back, and that's what the official sees, and they have to call that.
What do you want to see from this Comets offense? Obviously, you know, I would say it struggled last week, but without Petrosky now, what's it going to look like?
Well, I'm sure they're going to think they're going to be one-dimensional by not being able to throw the ball. They've established a great running game, and they're giving him a chance to show what he can do.
Quick look, and he takes off up to the 30, so third down on the way.
Nanticoke's 4-4 defense is doing a great job. That was a coverage sack. You'll see Petrosky going through his reads. He checked 1-2, scrambling around, tucks the ball. Shows that he's got some footwork, too.
But he also looked downfield and then said, I'm going to run, right?
He's not going to feel too comfortable yet trying to get that long ball in there.
Nanticoke's defense, as you might expect, with 2 top teams, putting up some big numbers. They've given up over 316 yards per game and 21 points. They would like to bring that down here tonight, and they feel confident that they can. So a sidecar next to Schultz. He's going to throw it downfield, and it's intercepted. Oh, in and out of the hands of Sincere Shiloh. He may have tried to run before he caught it.
He did. Again, we always tell the kids, look the ball in, secure, and then go. But again, the adrenaline's pumping, and you're feeling high fives on that. Now, on this play, you'll see that he's setting up. Watch his feet. He kind of threw off his back foot a little bit. The ball was floating. Again, he was throwing to an area, not to his receiver, and that's lack of inexperience, and he's only going to get better for Crestwood.
Ethan Shudak, the sophomore, number 7, back to punt. Low line drive kick. Gonna die in front of Peyton Kep. And the Trojan offense comes out on the field for the first time tonight, and we'll see number 13, the senior, Mark Marcella. On the season, just 17 yards, has a touchdown and interception.
The Trojans run that nice wing T, and when they can get the angles and the misdirection going, it's a very tough offense to stop. They're very big up front, Bob. Their left tackle's 325-pound junior, Braden Zaremba.
So they start in the eye. They average just 9 points per game so far this season. This is Lohman. We talked about him in the pregame, up for just a couple, and now the Hazleton Honda offense for the Nanticoke Trojans. You see about the wing, you know, we talked about the wing tee. You got Lohman, Fox in there, and fine. Just a couple receivers. Sincere Shiloh has some great speed, and Seth Raymer is 220-pound freshman. And there you talked about up front, Coach. 325 is Zaremba, 320 is Collison on the other side. Marcella's back to throw for the first time. And again, Shiloh had it and lost it.
That was thrown into a triple coverage, and that was a really good ball. He had time to throw that, and again, here's Nanticoke opening up, passing out of a wing tee. Does a nice job, good protection. He had him. He's just got to look that ball in again. Pre-game jitters, senior night, it could be any of those things, but the Trojans here are going to be putting something together against Crestwood.
Couple of guys on the wing. Inside handoff, typical for the wing T to Fox, and he's short of a first down by 2 yards.
That was the wing counter play. If you notice that, you'll see a lot of misdirection going right, and he comes back with that handoff to the left. You'll have a pulling guard that's backside's coming up, pulling up inside, and it naturally forms a gap in there.
So Ron Bruza, first decision of the night. The offense is like, we can do this. The offensive line is like pointing to go for it. And it looks like the offense will stay on. They feel comfortable up front that they can push around this Crestwood defense that comes in giving up 15 points per game.
And Crestwood's defense of line is the key to their success this year. And right now, I think Coach Bruce is saying, you know what? I'm going to show you that the Nanticoke Trojans can play some football.
Moving, and they're going to get it the old-fashioned way. Penalty coming up against the Comets.
On the defense, 5 yards only. First down.
Not sure who that was on the line, but boy, you hate to see the guy right in front of the ball move.
That's again, as a former defensive line coach, you always tell them to key the ball. Don't listen to anything, but again, it happens even in the professional level. Guys are jumping.
Trojans averaging 182 on the ground so far in the 2 games. Marcella back. Here comes the pressure. He's taken down in the backfield for a sack.
Number 36.
That is 36, Ryan Harding on the outside, his second sack on the season. Here is the Hazleton Honda Comet defense. Benjamin up front on Harding on the other side with Big Dean and Jones in the middle. The linebackers, very talented. Watch out for Kakalachik in the middle. 10 total tackles, 2 for a loss. He's just a sophomore. And the secondary's doing pretty good themselves. Schultz on the outside has an interception, but watch out for Vini. He's got 3 INTs. And the ball's on the ground first time tonight. Looks like Lohman coughed it up, and Crestwood has it. First fumble of the night goes over to the Comets, and we talk about turnovers for both teams and what they've done the first 2 games.
They run the ISO play in here, good ball security, but watch number 11. He had them wrapped, and 42 comes in and punches that ball out.
Jimmy Hawley punched it out.
And that's a drill that defensively you will work at every practice, a takeaway circuit or turnover circuit. And that's a kudos for the Comets on that one to get that turnover to stop that drive.
Well, turnovers on both sides have played them all early season, yeah.
At Nanticoke, the first 2 games, Bob, as we talked about in the pregame, how they faced the 2 toughest teams so far in the division.
So Schultz goes under the center this time, and Benjamin taken out of the backfield, hit once again, and there's Alex Fine getting the start tonight. The 185-pound sophomore put it on Benjamin for a loss of 4.
You'll see this. It's just a base ISO play, isolation play. You see the fullback, number 7, looking, and they saw the linebacker coming in, but the running back has to read his fullback for that play to be more successful.
Benjamin, 6 foot, 215-pound, solid sophomore. He's not an easy guy to take down, but number 4 did it.
He did. He came in, he stopped him, and his teammate, again, gang tackling for the Trojans.
You can see they're fired up here. They want their first win of the year. Do the Trojans. Back to Benjamin again, and again hit quickly, just a yard gain. Looks like Lohman comes up with the ball, but they say he was down.
Well, if you watch this, if we get the replay, you'll see this on here. The left defensive end for Trojans comes screaming down the line. They're not picking him up, but he's already getting pressure. Look at that, right there. And that's tremendous job. Krieger in there. That's great speed.
So far, the Nanticoke defense playing really what they thought coming in they would be like, flying to the ball. So a 3rd and long coming up for Crestwood. A lot of movement. Schultz will roll. Still rolling, has room to run. has the first down and more. The sophomore down the sidelines, a huge gain. Call it about 20 yards, about the 22-yard line.
Wow. I wonder if that young man, if Schultz, if he's a track star, because he certainly runs very smooth and has great technique. He's sitting up there doing a crossing pattern and trying to set up the flood on the play side. He doesn't like what he sees, tucks the ball and goes. Number 11 with a key block there. That was nice job. Nice job for Crestwood.
26-yard gain, and looks like Crestwood, well, he's looking like Petrosky did last week.
With his feet, absolutely. Again, Brendan DeMarzo, number 11, was the one that sprung that for that extra 10 yards.
So, largest gain of the night for either team. Has the Comets on the move after the fumble. They're going to run again. Again, Schultz picking up some blocks on the outside. Noah Schultz out of bounds inside the Allied Services red zone. Let's see where they mark him. He's on the far side. Looks like the 1-yard line or 2. So my 20, they're going to the 4-yard line. So 18-yard gain.
Look at this. They get all, it's just student body right, snapped, and it was a quarterback run all the way. Look at that. The only thing I would tell them to do is tuck that ball in the opposite hand.
Quarterback running first 2 weeks really well. Petrosky, now Schultz is picking up. You can see that's one person they're not accounting for. So 2 carries, 44 yards for Schultz. Has the Comets knocking on the door. Why not do it again? Some big blockers out front. Not enough guys in blue. And it's a Hazelton Honda touchdown for the Crestwood Comets.
Number 6, Noah Schultz on the carry, 4 yards and a Crestwood touchdown.
Talk about a confidence booster right here. You just see that. They get everybody going student body right. That's a great job by number 36, Ryan Harding, being able to get that Noah Schultz touchdown with that extra chip block.
Shudak in for the extra point. First play was -4. Next play, just 1 yard. And then Mr. Schultz went to work. This kick extra point is up and good, and with 5:58 remaining, it's the Comets who march 45 yards and take the 7-0 lead.
Imagine getting a nurse's aide scholarship and tuition assistance while getting paid as a CNA. Allied Services has excellent career opportunities for RNs, LPNs, and CNAs. Visit allied-services.org/careers today.
So Nanticoke fumbles, Crestwood takes advantage of it, and they have the 7-0 lead. Just 5 plays for Crestwood. We'll talk about Noah Schultz in a minute. So the kickoff by Shudak. Taken by Fiesel, and he gets popped right up at the 25-yard lines, and the Trojan offense coming back on. So Noah Schultz goes 48 yards, just about 48 yards after the -4, and he gets him in for a touchdown with his legs. Couple keys to the game from Luzerne County Community College coach for the Trojans.
Keep it close and be physical. Now they have the be physical part down because they match up very evenly with Crestwood. I think one of the keys, though, they were preparing for Petrosky in the passing game. Now they didn't know that Schultz was going to be in there and that he could run that ball that well.
Let's see if Nanticoke can answer with a nice drive. Good hole. That's just Schoolski, the junior, the leading rusher coming in, picks up positive yards.
That's a great job by the offensive line to open up that hole. Again, misdirection. You'll see from the backside there was pressure. Crestwood likes to run the Virginia Tech defense here. You'll see that there's the pulling guard. He was actually in front of the guard's face, but he does a nice job. Joskolski does a nice job reading that hole and picking up that 7 yards.
Same play, the inside handoff to Fox. Needs to get up to the 35 for the first, and I think he's going to be right at it.
That was a great shot, the wide shot that we had to show you what that Crestwood defense is predicated on. Right here, there's the touchdown.
That's the first one.
Yeah, that was the first drive.
Nanticoke area, 35.
Inside give to Fine. He's met inside by Hawley, the senior. About 1 yard on that.
Well, that's just trying to keep Crestwood from over pursuing to the outside because they keep doing the misdirection plays. Keep them honest, run something up inside.
One thing Coach Bruiser did talk about is not giving up big plays, and really not a big play yet. He gave up a nice run from Schultz of 26 yards, biggest play of the night for either team. He would like to get a big play himself. The crowding the line, nowhere to go for Marcelli. He's taken out for the second sack of the game. Give credit to Harding on the outside. I believe that's his second sack.
That was a tremendous job by Matt Dean, the defensive tackle in here. They just bring a lot of pressure. Again, they're running Virginia Tech's G defense, and what that means is they're going to have somebody in the gap, which is the 3 technique over one of the guards, and they like to call it either the field side or the short side. So they're going to try to adjust to, with their personnel, they're going to try to adjust that front to Nanticoke's wing T.
Passing down now for the Trojans. Let's see. Just 4 linemen going to rush. Marcella back. Pump fake. Nope, they're going to set up a little dink. But unfortunately, Fine couldn't pull it in, but right there was Hawley anyway. So here comes the punt team again for Nanticoke.
On this play, I want you to watch the defense here. Number 72, John Jones does a twist play with Ryan Harding. Ryan Harding's a defensive end, so he's shooting to the guard. And now we have John Jones looping around and did a nice job picking that up.
Nanticoke's offense not really predicated on going 3rd and long, and that's not what they really want to do.
They don't want to be in a passing situation. So Coach Bruce is probably, he's going to stick to his game script. I'm sure he did the first 10 plays. He wanted to try to see what he could do differently against Crestwood.
Well, they're missing a player. He finally gets out there. Goes to punt it away. Good kick. DeMarzo probably should have caught that. And it takes a Nanticoke roll all the way back to the 31-yard line. Now your Luzerne County Community College keys for the Crestwood Comets. Coach?
No turnovers. They have plagued the Comets the first 2 games, and they're doing a good job so far. Now, staying on schedule is something that Coach Arcangeli really wants his team to understand, and for the fans, he doesn't want them to deviate from what they do. They're going to do what they do, and they actually have been doing it very well.
Well, number 6 is the quarterback. It was number 3 for the first 2 weeks, and don't want to say it looks the same, but they scored the first they scored on the last possession because of the legs of the sophomore. Here he goes again. I think we're going to have a hold in the backfield on Crestwood. This one may be coming back.
Well, right now, Crestwood's trying to do some misdirection. They're showing the jet sweep, and it was a fake. Obviously, it's in there, boom, and he was reading the defensive end. Number 70 right there, kind of chipped him from behind. We'll wait for the official's call.
By number 70, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down.
Mike Monahan, your Wyoming Valley Conference white hat tonight. That will back up the Comets to the 16-yard line.
Back to the 17-yard line.
So Crestwood last week beat Tunkhannock despite 5 turnovers, 33-21. Their rivalry game they started with against Hazleton, they pulled that one out late, 18-10. Schultz gonna just try to get downfield. He has a receiver, and it's caught. Nick Kreiser, the senior, pulls it in for his 9th catch of the year, and it's a figure law first down for Crestwood.
Number 17, Nick Kreiser.
The Comets are running a waggle play. He fakes to the right side, and he bootlegs to the left. Throwing on the run, again, a right-handed quarterback throwing to the left is tough. Kind of overthrew, but Kreitzer does a great job adjusting his body, making that catch, setting up the Comets in good field position.
First and 10, Comets, the ball.
42-yard gain, not bad for Schultz. Looking pretty good in there. Comets inside Trojan territory once again. Here's the handoff to Hawley. Hawley with some tough running. Big push from the line, and it's another figure law first down for Crestwood.
Well, they're starting to spread this ball around because I guess they want to tell Nanticoke, hey, we've got athletes. Even though they're young and inexperienced, they're going after it right now. Again, look at that pursuit by number 17, Aiden Jaskowski, coming for Nanticoke from that defensive end position again.
Here come those ends. That time the defensive ends got to them. Nowhere to go for a Hawley. Loss of about 2 here. Now the Hazelton Honda Nanticoke Trojan defense. There we saw Krieger and Remore come in on the ends last time. Collison and Wojciechowski in the middle. The linebackers very active. We've seen them already fine with a couple big tackles in there, along with Lohman. And then just 3 in the secondary. And it's Shiloh, Penko, and Kep. Schultz looking a little inside and threw it behind his receiver, but a great catch by Fiesel. Picks up about 9. And we've a timeout called by the Trojans.
On this play, they're just a quick, again, he's coming in on that post pattern, trying to get that, and he does. It was a little bit behind, again, but an inexperienced quarterback who's got to feel pretty good right now with what he's doing and what this Comet offense is accomplishing.
He's throwing the balls in the right places as Schultz. He's getting it to the people that are open. Now let's check out the coaches. Ryan Arcangeli on the left-hand side in his 2nd season, and Ron Bruza in his 11th season on the right-hand side. I should say Coach Arcangeli's on the left-hand side. Left from right, right from left. Yeah.
Well, if we were talking numbers, Ryan would be the odd guy, and then Coach Ron would be the even guy.
Yeah.
Evens and odds. I know I'm getting old when I'm starting to see my former players out here coaching and doing a great job.
Yeah, Coach Arcangeli out of the Rich Manello mode. So 3rd and short. Schultz behind his center. Gain of about 5. They're inside the Allied Services red zone. Good push.
That was a real nice job. Again, if you watch the tailback on that play, he didn't even move. The fullback just kind of came up, but they got a great jump on that. And again, as an inexperienced quarterback in your first varsity game, it looks like he's been back there for at least one full season now.
He's not doing anything he doesn't have to do. He's not trying to win the game. Playing in the offense, and it looks like someone might have lined up outside.
Encroachment, lined up in a neutral zone, number 44, White, first down.
So that is Logan Arnold, first time calling his name tonight. Not in a good way, so March 5 back for Crestwood.
Well, this was one of the keys to the game for the Comets, was to stay the course, and that's what Coach has been doing, and that's what these kids are doing. They're not doing anything different. I'm surprised. I thought we were going to see that single wing, but we haven't seen it because they're playing some power football.
Could be the last play of the Here come the linebackers in, trying to hold up Hawley. They get a hold of him. That's fine, pulling him down at the 20. So 3rd and long on the way, and that should probably do it for the first quarter here in Luzerne County.
There's just a base ISO play. Fullback hits number 17 to block to let the tailback spring. But again, the Trojan defense is very stingy. They're all flying to the ball and for a short gain.
Well, the only score of the quarter by the team in white. Crestwood leads this one 7-0.
I am joined by Erin Pilch. She is the Assistant Director of Nursing for Allied's Inpatient Rehab. Erin, thank you for being here today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
So, Erin, can you explain to us how important nurses are at a place like Allied Services?
Oh, nurses are key for 24/7 care of the patient, from medication passes to treatments. to make sure that the patient benefits from the therapy that they're needed to receive.
So if somebody has a healthcare background, how could they get a job at Allied, and how would you guys prepare them for that?
Anybody thinking about getting into the medical profession can come in to be a nurse's aide, start off right at the basics. That is, they can get a feel for what it is to be in the medical profession. They can see a lot that goes on, and also nurses, LPNs, RNs. We are looking for anybody in the medical profession that's interested and wants to keep and be an intricate part of the medical profession. There's a lot of experience to be had.
So coronavirus has, caused a lot of changes for a lot of jobs. What have you guys done to kind of get over those hurdles?
From day one, Allied has been very key in making sure the patients and the employees are safe. Everything, masks, face shields, gowns, gloves, we have everything to keep the patient and the employees safe. We started from day one also when it was mandated to do the screening coming into the facility and leaving the facility. So we are prepared.
Well, Erin, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for the work that you do for Allied Services.
Thank you.
Well, it's a Hazleton Honda touchdown as we come back. Nice pass from Schultz to Arnold.
Our player of the game right there for the Comets.
Nice pass. Sure, we'll take a look at the replay in a second as Shudak comes on for his second extra point of the game. The kick is up, and it is good. So it completes the drive. A couple big plays in there. Let's take a look at the touchdown again, Coach.
You're going to see on this replay, Crestwood all of a sudden shoots 42 out into motion. What that did was that took the free safety out from the middle of the field, and that allowed the tight end to have that inside seam with pressure in his face. Schultz with the touchdown to Logan.
So an 8-play, 69-yard drive. The big play right there on the touchdown of 20 yards. Schultz looking pretty good.
He's looking very confident, and he's getting... Here it is again. You'll see this, and again, you'll see there it goes. That was the motion. You saw the free safety cutting across your screen, and right in there, he threw it inside. Nice, easy pitch and catch for 6 points.
Trojans defense at times has played well, but again, giving up those easy plays.
And that's frustrating as a coach because you do all those hard things easy, but the easy things you make very difficult at times. I think if Nanticoke just settles down, which I believe I saw a coach, the defensive coach was out there saying, all right, look, we just have to play assignment football. Just do your job and we'll be successful.
Schultz has, so far in the game, is 5 carries for 55 yards. I'll get to his passing in a minute because we got to add those 20 in. But again, not doing anything he doesn't need to do, playing within the system, and they lead 14-0. 11:49 left in the second quarter. Now we want to see what the Trojans could do on offense. They at times look okay, but what would you like to see from them?
Their offensive line has to start taking more control. Now with the defensive line that Crestwood has, they're considered one of the best in the Wyoming Valley Conference, so that is a tall order for them to try to take control of that line of scrimmage.
So a Lackawanna College kickoff again for the Comets. Let's see where they kick this one. Feisel again, trying to find some room. Tries to get to the outside and does, and he's going to be up to the 32-yard line. That's where Nanticoke will start their third possession of the game.
That's a nice return. It gives the Trojans very good field position to start.
37-yard line, Nanticoke area takes over.
So a loss, 35-3 loss last week up at Lake Lehman. Here against Williamsport, they played well in the first half, but then really the athletes that the Millionaires have kind of took over.
They have a tendency to do that, and Coach Cruz at Williamsport has done a tremendous job since he took over, I believe 6 years ago. But the Trojans right now have to worry about the Comets, and they've just got to start getting some successful plays in a row, get that first down again, just keep everything building from that.
tough going on the inside. At least Fox might have bobbled that a little bit on the handoff. He's lucky he didn't lose it. Back to the line of scrimmage.
Again, the Crestwood Comet defense causing a lot of pressure and the confusion on who we're supposed to block. They're bringing 3 guys at the point of attack, and there's only 2 offensive linemen, and they're hesitating on who to get.
There you see the ball bobble on the handoff. They're lucky. Jaskulski up. He's had a couple of positive plays, so 3rd down up forthcoming.
That's that wing T buck sweep right there. And if we get a chance to see that replay, which you'll see right now, great job, guys. You'll see both guards pulling. Again, we've just got to, they just have to clean up their blocking assignments. Who's going to get that first man? It should have been the receiver, and then the pulling guard should be kicking out any linebackers from the 2nd level.
So a big 3rd down now here early in this game for the Trojans. They want to stay on the field with their offense. Marcella back has the time. He's going to try to go long. Shiloh looked for it one way, and they threw it over his head. So let's see. Coach Bruza wants to bring out the punt team.
On that backside, number 20, Nate Panko, was wide open. You'll see now they go with that pull. Both guards to the left, they're going with a little bit of waggle is what that's called, and he overthrows it. But number 20 on the right side was wide open.
Well, let's see if they come back to the play later on.
I'm sure the coaches up top in the box wrote that down. They'll talk about that and send it down.
Cuss in punt formation. DeMarzo back to receive. Nice shot from behind and movement. Some movement by the Trojans will back them up 5.
Okay, false start. Okay, got dead ball, false start, number 7 blue. Repeat, 4th down.
Penalty marker prior to the snap, illegal procedure against Nanticoke area. A 5-yard penalty will bring up a 4th and 9.
Comets expecting good field position.
Coming back with the returner back there of Brendan DeMarzo. He's experienced.
Oh, someone almost got in there in a white jersey. And again, takes a Trojan bounce inside the 25, down at the 22.
For more than a century, Lackawanna College has been changing lives. Now you can earn your bachelor's degree from a respected school close to home with the most affordable tuition in the region. Apply today at lackawanna.edu. New classes start October 22nd.
So the Comets come back out, up 2 touchdowns so far, and quarterback Noel Schultz coming in with all goose eggs, meaning his first start of the year. Is looking pretty good, looking for the future. The future definitely looks bright for the Comets underneath center when Petrosky comes back. Inside give to the fullback. This is Romanowski, rumbling and bumbling all the way past the 35.
I like that. You'll see that rumbling and bumbling up here. This is a great play. Watch the right guard pull quick. They trap him, and look at that fullback. He reads it. The outside receivers come down, stalk block, and seal it. What a great, great job by that running back, Romanowski.
We have an injured Comet. Looks like maybe some cramps. Is that Schultz?
Yes.
That is the quarterback, Schultz. We already have one QB down. That is, Ryan Petrosky, we knew, hurt his shoulder last week against Tunkhannock. Petrosky came in last year throwing over 1,300 yards and 16 touchdowns and was picking up where he left off.
Well,
now he might be cramping. And Crestwood next week will head to Holy Redeemer. So that's, one of the reasons Coach Arch Angeli knew he didn't want to take this game lightly, but he was looking towards the future to leave Petrosky out to get healed.
Especially with the schedule that they have coming up. He knew what was going to happen with Hanover, and they have Wyoming area, Berwick, and the schedule right there is kind of messed up. It's the old schedule. So, oh, I'm sorry. I apologize, I'm reading it wrong. I'm thinking Nanticoke already played
No.
Lake Lehman. But no,
No.
Lake Lehman is for real this year. They're probably, I would have to say, the best in the Wyoming Valley Conference,
Yeah.
and they've been just tagging points on everybody.
Yeah, 3A division in District 2. We didn't take a look at yet because Lackawanna League didn't start until next week.
Right.
So, there's some teams, Hazleton and Scranton Prep in 3A, looking towards the district. So, something else to talk about this week, PIAA said there will be state playoffs. How they interfere now with the regular season is yet to be determined. Someone like District 11 may opt out. They're already talking about that. District 2 meets next Thursday to discuss how they're going to do and get their champions, because in 2A and 1A, they might have to go off the rating system and no game on the field. And that's a tough way to determine a champion.
It is very much so. And for all these kids in all these schools, it's not going to be fair. It's not going to be equitable. On this coming in, Brendan Dennis is going to have to come in because, again, Noah Schultz has to go off for one play. So
Not sure what happened. It was behind the play because he handed the ball off.
So I saw Brendan Dennis over there taking snaps from. Here it is. You'll see that it's the same play again. Yeah, that was just the fullback, so I'm not sure what happened on that play. That was that one where the fullback does rumble and bubble, as Bob said.
So Brendan Dennis, another sophomore quarterback. Yes, number 34 is in there. Let's see what he does. He's going to hand off to his big back Benjamin, and Benjamin with the move up for, nice gain of about 7.
Now, yeah, I wouldn't expect to see too much from your third-string quarterback, but again, as Coach said, we're going to stay the course, and they're going to do what they do. They run the ISO play in there. Offensive line took care of first level. Fullback hits that linebacker, springs them for that 8-yard gain. Bob, you were saying how the future's looking bright for Crestwood. They have a lot of underclassmen.
Yes.
And their skill kids are really all underclassmen
Yes, they
right
are.
now and doing a tremendous job.
3 guys on the left-hand side, all sophomores.
Yep.
Benjamin's a sophomore. The quarterbacks are a sophomore. So guess what? We'll be in 2 years. I believe they lined up in the neutral zone again.
Dead ball, encroachment on White, number 44 in the neutral zone.
It's twice.
Replay, second half.
That's tough because you're taught as an offensive lineman, you're looking at the ball, your hand can't be in that zone, and if your tackle creeps up an extra inch, when you put your hand into that zone, as Logan Arnold's done twice now, they're going to call you for it.
Well, Coach Arcangeli's right down the line. He can see it as well. Back to Benjamin, has some running room, but Nanticoke does a nice job stuffing that up after a 2-yard gain.
And that's what Nanticoke's defense, like I said, Elijah Kolazin, 6'5", 320. Ryan Widertoski is a freshman at 220. Here's a replay of the play. Look at it. They're just standing up, and they're not getting driven back, and then they do a nice job pursuing to the ball to stop him. Actually, I think he had a short loss.
They actually have Sidorchuk, the 250-pound senior playing now right in the middle. You see number 67, so they're trying to put some beef up there. So 3rd and 6 on the way. Well, Dennis is going to roll. He has an open receiver. DeMarzo pulls it in. He does. And Brendan Dennis gets his first completion as a sophomore in a varsity game, and it's about a 10-yard gain.
And senior number 11, Brendan DeMarzo, is really showing his experience on the field. Not a great thrown ball, but guess what? He made the reception and gave them the first down.
Give him 13 yards and makes a nice catch. Benjamin caught from behind. Yep. By number 8, Krasnewski.
You can see how they're doing their combo blocks. Crestwood is going to put 2 offensive linemen on 1 defender, and then they're both looking to the second level.
2nd down and 6 for Crestwood.
If Nanticoke's defensive line would get their pad level down and not move, they're going to cause a lot of fits for the Comets.
Big Joseph, the sophomore, and he puts his head down for another figure law first down up inside the 35.
Right here again, where they're not doing anything fancy. They're staying the course, running an ISO play where the fullback's leading up through. And again, number 56, Elijah Collison, he stood his ground, but he's only one person. The rest of the team has to start doing their jobs.
So back to the I formation. This time it's Hawley dotting that, and they give it to the fullback Romanowski again. Just powers up for a couple, and the clock keeps moving. Under 7 to play in the half.
It was just that fullback trap in there again that they've had a lot of success with, but a nice job by both Crestwood's defensive end and linebacker to shut that down.
Jaskulski in, number 17, a junior. Nanticoke's defense needs to get off the field if they want to have any chance of getting back in this one. They need to stop the Comets, and they haven't been able to do that yet tonight. A quick out. Kreiser pulls through and in for a Hazelton Honda touchdown for the Comets.
Brendan Dennis's pass is complete to number 17, Nick Kreitzer. Kreitzer takes it the distance.
So Kreiser, his first touchdown of the year.
Watch this outside block right now. That's what springs it right there. Number 11 does a nice job. DeMarzo gets off of him so he doesn't get called for blocking it back. And you see the speed of Nick Kreiser on that one where he pulled away right from those defenders.
He had that big catch early on, but this one he actually puts it in the end zone. So the extra point kick is up and good, and the Comets extend their lead now. 5:50 left in the half. It's 21-0. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Friday Night Rivals. As I mentioned earlier, Nanticoke is the only cheer team here tonight. So I am joined by senior cheerleader Soraya Manny. Soraya, you almost didn't have a senior season, so how excited are you to be here tonight?
We are so excited to be here tonight.
Are you?
Yeah.
So what are you expecting this season?
A lot of changes because of the coronavirus. I know we have to wear masks and we can't stand too close to each other. So we're just hoping for the best this season.
So like I said, you're a senior. How are you going to lead your squad to make sure that these crowds and these people that are here to watch these guys stay motivated and are excited?
We're going to do as many cheers as we can and make the most of the season because we never know when it could be our last game this year. So we're really trying to be excited this season and be energetic to everyone and stay as positive as we can.
That's a great mindset. Thank you so much for talking to us tonight, Soraya, and good luck with your senior year.
Thank you.
Bob, Jan, back to you guys.
I know they're happy to be here.
As are we. This has just been a great atmosphere tonight. Home side has gone a little quiet right now. They could use some support. Those boys out there, they're working hard. Bob, you mentioned the defense has to get off the field, but giving up a touchdown is not the way you want to.
No, that's not the way. So a nice 8-play, 78-yard drive. Nice job by Brendan Dennis, another sophomore quarterback, taking what the defense is giving them as Faisal powers his way up past 32-yard line, and the Trojans need to do something on offense, show anything.
They've just got to start putting a drive together, one play at a time. I don't think they're going to try for the home run at this point. Coach Bruce really isn't known for his passing attack with the wing T. It's just not predicated on that. So he's just going to have to settle these guys down at halftime and just play football, forget the first quarter, first half when he's going to talk about the halftime, and just get them to come out here and show that Trojan pride.
Crestwood, it doesn't look impressive, but they just get the job done. They, as they say, stay within the system. Nice, easy passes, and let your athletes do the work.
Let them do what they do best, and they've been running and blocking very well, and they're pretty calm out there too.
Dead ball, false start, number 74 blue, first down.
And those are the things right now that inexperienced line has that they've got to stop doing. They've been jumping a little bit, obviously, and causing themselves now instead of 1st and 10, 1st and 15. So they just got to settle down. They're playing a very good Crestwood team.
Well, the line not able to give any running room to Jaskulski. In fact, maybe they lost about 2 yards, so nice job by Crestwood on the inside.
You'll just see this is just a halfback. It's just a option play, actually a give, just trying to get something off the edge right there because they ended up blocking down. And Crestwood, again, is very stout up front, and they move tremendously fast to the ball.
Harding and Arnold there on the stop. Marcella underneath center, the senior QB. Rolls, looking for anything, throws it downfield for Shiloh. Shiloh had it for a moment. Nice defense on the outside by the senior Vinny. Goes incomplete.
And you'll see on this that he's just rolling out. And he's, again, throwing off that back foot. He should have just stopped, planted, turned, and he could have had a better throw. Almost picked off. Too much air under that ball.
Throwing along now for the Trojans. It looked good in the first quarter, especially on defense, and then Schultz started running the ball. And that kind of opened things up for the Comets. Offensively, they just find something to do, and they can't find anything. Lohman hit in the backfield by
Cole
Kakalachik first, and then taken down by a host of Comets.
Kakalachik, he just timed that perfectly. Again, once you start listening to the quarterback's cadence, you can do that. And Coach Ark said, let's go.
Arnold there, and somebody else, 63.
Number 9, John Cuss in the punt. Number 11, Brendan DeMarzo back deep for the Comets.
Low snap, Cuss gets it away. Line drive to DeMarzo. He's got some room. Picks up some blocks. Into Trojan territory. And down at the 40, so a short field on the way for Crestwood.
Brendan DeMarzo was really cool, calm, and collected on that low punt, and he did a great job bringing that back almost to the line of scrimmage.
So there's Ryan Arcangeli. What position did he play?
He was center at King's College.
Okay, well, he looks like a center.
He used to do announcing at Lake Lehman. That's where his alma mater is also, where he was a center there.
Well, right now he's got his team, talked about the offseason, what they wanted to do. They wanted to be more balanced. They've shown that tonight. 60-40, maybe run first and then pass. But they wanted to get back into that weight room. Of course, that helped Dallas last year, as this is Hawley who bounces out. And Hawley with a nice gain up inside the 25.
These long, sustained Comets offensive drives are really starting to take a toll on the Trojan defense. And he's just lumbering here. It's just all this is. It's just a base ISO play. There he goes. He just read that perfectly, bounces to the outside. Great stalk block out there.
16 yards
for
Nick
Kreiser.
Yep, 16 yards for the figure law first down. Benjamin now dotting the I. They'll give it to the sophomore. He bounces to the outside, looking towards the end zone, and he's in for a Hazleton Honda touchdown, Comets.
Number 26.
You'll see this right here. ISO play, watch the fullbacks looking, hits that linebacker. A little bit of a hold there, but nobody saw that. And he does a great job bouncing that to the outside, Caleb Benjamin, the sophomore. Bob, you were saying how Crestwood really wanted to get back out here. They did. They switched a lot of their offense from that single wing now to more I, and then they're getting into some of that heavy stuff, which they haven't shown tonight because they don't need to.
Shudak, another extra point, so 2 plays, 40 yards, both on the ground. and both by the tailbacks running the ball. And now it's
here it is again. Another great view. Our camera crew's doing a tremendous job. Look at that inside end zone shot. He has great vision, the ball, good security, and he just ran to the outside.
Benjamin's first touchdown on the season is a 24-yard run, and there's Crestwood, 2-0 coming in. Nanticoke, of course, next week taking on their rival, Hanover area. So Crestwood showing what the weight room can do. One of the emphasis for Coach Art Angeli, just like Coach Manella, winning in the weight room.
The offseason gets a lot of things accomplished. You could be the best athlete in the world, but if you don't have the skill set, and more importantly, that strength, it's going to be neutralized by somebody that has spent the time in the weight room and has committed themselves to make themselves bigger, faster, and stronger.
So Shudak ready to kick this one off. So, and we know the cheerleaders would like more to cheer about. And the band will play at halftime for Nanticoke. So, you know, the extracurriculars still going through with safety measures in mind, of course. Nice crowd on hand here. Lohman holding on to the ball and still fighting. Talked about his grit. There you can see it on this kickoff. And
look
at that. Rugby.
We have a scrum
it is
at
a
the
scrum.
42-yard line. Wow, Coach Bruiser was not kidding. He said when that kid is feisty, he's gritty, and he's tough. And you just saw the example of one young man's will to try to get this team going.
Out to the 42-yard line, first down and 10.
NFL on Fox 56 this Sunday. Doubleheader action starting with San Francisco traveling to the Big Apple to take on the New York Giants Sunday at 1 o'clock, followed by Dallas at Seattle at 4:30. Fox NFL Sunday coverage begins at noon only on Fox 56.
Marcella taken out of the backfield. Logan Arnold with the sack.
Crestwood Spotlight Player of the Game. Again, they do, in this G front, they do what they call a bend technique for their defensive ends. They bring them, they crash them down very hard, and they tell them, your job is to get 2 yards and just bend it down the line of scrimmage.
You can see why some PSAC schools are looking at him.
He's got a nice motor on him.
To the inside, Jaskulski banged around. You see Arnold put a shoulder into him. And 3rd and long on the way for the Trojans.
There was a natural bubble where the Trojans were trying to attack, but you saw Crestwood on here. They just come down and they close that up. Look at that, right in there, and then here you go. All these white jerseys coming in. Logan Arnold gives that nice shoulder pop.
Well, another sophomore with the tackle. It's Kakalachik, who came in with total of 10 tackles. He was one of the leading tacklers, was number 52 there in the middle. Marcella down the line, throwing to, looks like Fox, but he was double covered and threw it out of bounds. So the punt team back on for Nanticoke, 1:43 left. Crestwood with all 3 timeouts remaining.
Brings up 4th and 11 for Nanticoke area.
So DeMarzo back again. Coos, another low line driver. Surprised DeMarzo's not trying to come up and catch it.
Well, I think it's difficult when, especially when you have a bad snap, because all 3 snaps, the last 3 snaps have been low. The punter's not really kicking full leg, so he's not getting a lot of height on the ball.
Crestwood takes over, first down and 10 at the Crestwood.
This is actually the worst field position the Comets will start off with in this half, and they're up 4 touchdowns already.
And Noah Schultz is coming back out.
Okay. Number 6 back in the game. splitting time now with Brendan Dennis. I'm sure we'll see him in the second half. And we're going to get a timeout by Nanticoke with 93 seconds left. Am I math right? 93, 133?
Yes,
yes,
sir.
Thank you.
Well, we have right now, I know Coach Arcangeli's probably feeling pretty good right now, especially how his sophomores have performed tonight, especially his third-team quarterback. Ryan Petrosky's probably sitting there going, Coach, I'm ready to go, because he's going to feel some pressure, and that kind of competition during the week only makes the team better.
Okay, next week we go back up to the Lackawanna League as they kick off their season. With their 5-game schedule, we'll have the tri-borough matchup between Riverside, who's losing to Tamaqua tonight, and Old Forge, first game of the year. Then we'll have a doubleheader back-to-back Friday, Saturday for you. Western Wayne taking on Scranton Prep, and then the bell game, Scranton taking on West Scranton on Saturday afternoon at 2. So Jan and I and the crew will be busy in October.
Yes, we will.
And we will have some games hopefully into November as district and state playoffs will be taking place. So Old Forge scrimmaging North Pocono tonight just to get something underway, because I know talking to them yesterday, they're tired of practicing. And Riverside's just said, we started our season with 8 games. They've already played 2 and losing to Tamaqua tonight, and they could come into that game 0-3.
Well, we saw Riverside at Tunkhannock for the first scrimmage.
Yep.
Yeah, back in early September. So they're going to have not as much rust on, but Old Forge, I'll tell you what, boy, on paper, they look great.
Yeah, they have a lot of seniors back, and they are big. So Schultz to the outside, maybe short arm that a little bit as DeMarzo came back for the ball, goes incomplete. So maybe arm strength, maybe work on that a little bit for the sophomore.
Again, the timing, now their practice is way different than a game. The speed that the game has on a Friday night puts more pressure on your quarterback, and he's doing a really nice job. But again, Coach is going to now, I believe, stay the course. He's not going to deviate and just hand the ball off. He wants their kids to get better. Receivers, quarterback kids, work on their timing.
They go back to the eye. Box in the middle for Nanticoke, and nice hit on the outside by Krasnewski, number 8. Stopping Benjamin, but not really taking him down.
Well, but again, gang tackling in the key right here. They run the ISO, then he didn't like what he was seeing. The tailback stopped, and that allowed the backside pressure to come up, wrap him up, and then use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Trojans, put them down.
Well, we know Coach Bruce has said they like to get to the ball, and they do, and we get a timeout on the field. They have, and then next thing you know, they give up a big play. Now, a big third down, under a minute to play. You stop them, you can get the ball back in good field position. You have an opportunity to put points on the board going into halftime.
Well, and he's only got, he has 1 timeout left.
Yeah. Coach Bruce has 1 timeout left.
So he's going to have to manage that really well. These guys right now, being down 56, if they get the stop now, third and long, and then they force them to punt, they'll at least have 1 shot into the end zone.
So because of the coronavirus, I'm just playing 8 games in the Wyoming Valley Conference. They went to 2 divisions. And here's this division that Crestwood is currently in. We know what Lake Lehman has, as they put it on Nanticoke last week. Wyoming area, the defending state champs, 1-1. Hanover's going to play. Hanover Holy Redeemer just getting their games off this weekend. Tunkhannock playing tonight.
Yes, they're right up the road at Hazleton.
Yes,
actually.
right. That's right, and of course Nanticoke at the bottom right now. Middle screen set up to the tight end Arnold. He gets back just about the original line of scrimmage. Time is ticking for Nanticoke. They don't call timeout.
That's always an exciting play for a tight end when they call the tight end screen. He's sitting there, he's told it, block for 2 count, release, slip back inside. 7 yards back on that, I believe. Maybe not as generous.
Well, Shudak back to punt, and let's see, they have time to waste if they want to. Shiloh back, along with Fiesel. Low line kick. Shiloh mishandled. He's had a couple that I want to change his gloves at halftime. He had that interception in the first quarter. It went through his hands.
It did.
And a couple opportunities as well. So
and he didn't need to jump to get that ball. He was just again trying to make something happen, be that spark plug to try to get Trojans something positive happening.
One more play, and that should just about do it for halftime here. Coming up at the half, the Toyota halftime report. We'll have their report from the Fox 56 News first at 10. Hannah O'Reilly sits down and talks to some of our friends at Allied Services, and Jan and I will be back and present a nice check to Nanticoke for having us here this evening. That all on the way on the Toyota halftime report. Inside to couldn't see who had that ball. Thought it was just Kuski. Nope, it was Lohman, and that will do it. And Crestwood heads over to their tent, social distancing and all that. And Hannah's going to try to catch up with Coach Bruza. I'm sure he's going to say we've beaten ourselves. It's 28-0 at the half. And Crestwood got things going with the run. And now Hannah with Coach Bruza. And take it away, Hannah.
I'm here with Coach Bruza. Coach, your team is down 28-0. What adjustments are you planning on making in the second half?
We just got to get fundamentally sound on offense, protect the football, get a couple first downs, get some good things going for us, and play Trojan football.
Do you think there are any key players that could lead you guys to a win?
We're going to rely on our senior leadership when we come into this second half and really hope that, they step up, knowing that, with this pandemic and everything, they could be shut down at any time and just play for every play.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for your time. Bob, Jan, back to you guys.
So our Toyota halftime report is getting underway. The Comets lead the Trojans at the half, 28-0.
It's halftime here at Friday Night Rivals, and we have stopped by Allied Services to talk to CEO and President Bill Conaboy. Bill, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Hannah.
Now, Allied Services, you guys are a big name in the community. You're one of the top employers in this area. Can you explain to some of our viewers who might not know, what is Allied Services?
Yes, I can. Thank you very much. Allied Services is a regional post-acute healthcare system. We do business in about 25 counties here in Northeast and Central Pennsylvania. We have 2 inpatient rehab hospitals. We have several skilled nursing facilities, personal care homes. We do home health, we do in-home, we do hospice, we do mental health, behavioral health, we have a vocational training center, etc. We do everything that's in the post-acute care arena of healthcare.
Now, some of your employees have worked here 30, 40, almost 50 years. What would you say makes Allied Services a great place to work?
Yes, we have, as you said earlier, we are one of the largest employers here in the region. We have just about 4,000 employees. And I'm here myself almost 30 years, and I'm still considered a new guy. So I'd like to think that it's the atmosphere, the collegiality that we have here at Allied Services. People genuinely care about each other. They've watched each other's children grow up. They've experienced good times and bad times, but they stick together, they care for each other, and most importantly, they respect each other and those we care for.
Now, elephant in the room, coronavirus. It's thrown a wrench into everybody's day-to-day life, a lot of jobs. What is Allied Services doing to kind of get over those hurdles of the pandemic?
Yes, we've been in the thick of it, again, particularly in post-acute care. People come to us from acute care hospitals. And of course, this has been part of the problem with the spread of COVID-19. So we've been in the thick of it. We've had many, many cases. And we've been at the front line with PPE, personal protective equipment for our employees, screening, etc., separating people. And we've done a lot. We're very proud of the work that we've done. We've brought many people from the beginning through successfully coming out of COVID-19. So we're in the thick of it. The storm is kind of quiet right now. We're hoping there's not a resurgence in our area, but we're very proud of the work we've done.
So whether it is injury or an illness, Allied Services is always helping people get back on their feet, and we want to thank you guys for what you've done in the community.
Thank you. We're honored to do the work we do in our community.
Thank you, and thanks for being here.
Thank you. I'm Bill Conaboy, President of Allied Services. During these particularly challenging times, we're pleased to continue our support of high school athletes and high school athletic programs throughout the communities we serve. We also honor our employees and all frontline workers who have held the line and stayed the course throughout this pandemic. Thank you.
We'd like to welcome Valerie Bartle, the Kennedy Elementary principal, on hand to accept our $250 check on behalf of Allied Services. Thank you to the Nanticoke School District for allowing us to be here tonight and be a part of this special evening of showing you Friday night rivals. Bob Ide and Jan Cechak back in the booth, and early on, it was Crestwood, and we're talking about two sophomore quarterbacks who are leading the Comets right now.
That's just incredible that both of them stepped in and are having that type of success. And again, as Coach said, we're going to stay the course, and he didn't change anything for these young men. They have responded tremendously.
Well, let's take a look at some highlights. Noah Schultz got things going. He got the start as the sophomore, and he gets the honor of getting his first varsity touchdown.
That's it. And again, great team effort there. Great push by the offensive line and the receivers sealing that outside off. Again, he comes back. Now we're going to go to the air. And they go right there to our the Comet player of the game, Logan Arnold, for a touchdown. Nice little tight end pop. Now we have our third string quarterback. Does a nice pitch and catch to the outside screen. Brendan Dennis out there throws a strike to Nick Kreiser. But we're not done yet. He hands off to right now. We have Caleb Benjamin running that ISO play to the outside. Great seal block. Number 11, Brendan DeMarzo, showing his senior leadership, sealing that outside.
Sophomore. He's just a sophomore.
He's a sophomore.
Yeah, I told you that 5 times.
No, Brendan.
Oh,
Brendan.
okay,
I was like, wait a second.
Well,
okay.
Brendan's a sophomore, too.
DeMarzo.
Yeah. Oh, no,
DeMarzo, number
okay.
11.
Okay. Too many Brandons, and Caleb's on the field. So we'll take a break.
That's all right.
We come back, we'll have second half action here at Friday Night Rivals.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
We are back at Frank Chinaski Stadium in Nanticoke. It's Crestwood leading the Trojans 5-4 touchdowns. Crestwood will get set to kick off, and with some stats, here's Jan.
Well, the Crestwood Comets have a very balanced game right now. They've rushed for 142 yards. They've passed for 123 with two sophomore quarterbacks. And the defense that we knew Crestwood had, the stalwarts of their team, have shut the Trojans down to just a total of 11 yards of total offense.
Yeah, the struggles on offense continue for the Trojans. They can't find anything going. We know they like to run the ball as Shudak gets set for a Lackawanna College kickoff, and see what kind of adjustments, if any, they made at halftime.
Well, the Trojans right now, again, they've faced three of the best teams that we've seen so far this year, Bob, especially in the Wyoming Valley Conference. So they're going to get better. They just have to be patient, and as Coach said at halftime, they just want to start putting one small drive together to lead to a bigger drive.
Sincere Shiloh holds on to the ball and is taken down outside the 25-yard line. It's called the 26. So Mike Barcella, the senior quarterback, comes back in. As Ryan Arcangeli looks on for his Comet defense.
And I'm sure Coach Bruce had talked to that big offensive line of his of Braden Zaremba, Brandon Brojakowski, Henry Sidorchuk, Jeffrey Olch, and Elijah Collison to make sure, guys, do your job. Let's go one play at a time. Settle down. You're big, strong kids. You guys match up evenly with them. Just play football.
Come out in that wing tee. Lohman just trying to pick up a block, and he couldn't get it from Olch. And he's taken down quickly. Loss of 1.
Well, the outside linebackers, again, when they're playing a wing tee team, you tell your outside linebackers to cross key. So if I'm playing right side linebacker, outside linebacker, I'm going to be looking towards the left tight end. That's going to be my key. So you stay home So when they try that misdirection, you're right there, and that's a result of just being sound football there on the defensive side.
Try to stretch them out, and they can't. Lohman taken down quickly, and that's Logan Arnold on the outside. 3rd and long on the way.
Logan Arnold does a great job here, maintaining outside leverage, gets the man off too many, pushes off, and he collapses right to the running back.
We have a shoe repair for one of the Nanticoke players.
Big number 56, Elijah Collison, 6'5", 320-pound senior.
3 underclassmen on the offensive line for the Trojans. But 3 pretty big guys.
Very big.
So they're going to run this one out. Jaskulski up to the original line of scrimmage, and they'll be forced to punt.
Well, it just gives them a little bit more breathing room for the punting team, so they're not pinned back as deep as they were. You'll see on this, again, nice quick hitter. Again, they did a nice job. The offensive line did a nice job turning the defender out, creating the lanes for the running back to run, and he picked up 7 yards.
Kekalachik on the tackle. Well, when you know you go to Nanticoke, we're prepared for names. Not only from Nanticoke this week, but from Crestwood as well. We hope we're doing our best.
And again, I apologize to any of the families out there if I mispronounced the names.
Yeah, oh, bobbled snap, and no matter who pulls it down, it will be Crestwood ball. Low snap. Kuss couldn't handle it, and Crestwood has it just at the Allied Services red zone.
Bad snap, bounce, punter couldn't get to it, and there you go. Even though they tried to recover it, Nanticoke couldn't get it. Crestwood with great field position.
Right at the 20-yard line. So short field to begin the Comets. First drive of the second half, already up 4 touchdowns. And let's see who's quarterbacking. It is Noel Schultz, number 6, who had some cramps in the second quarter. Benjamin next to him. They're just going to run Schultz. We saw this play in the first quarter, and I think we saw the same effect. It is a Hazelton Honda touchdown for Schultz, 20 yards.
He's saying cramps? What cramps? I don't have any cramps. Look at that. Tremendous job. Again, student body left. He's got 2 lead blockers in there. His running back's doing a nice job sealing the outside, springing him to the corner for the touchdown.
His second rushing touchdown of the night. He has one through the air as well. So 9:41, and that took just about 30 seconds off the clock. Shudak up and in, and it's 35-0 here in the third quarter. We'll take a quick timeout.
Hazelton Honda's September clearance event is going on now. Save up to $6,000 on all new 2019 Hondas in stock. Come in soon. We have a limited supply. Your dream Honda is waiting at Hazelton Honda.
So on the kickoff, Peyton kept number 1. Took it up to the 41, and that's where the Trojans begin this drive now. Run on the inside by Skulski for a yard.
Well, Nanticoke, again, with the wing T, they're trying to keep that going. There's the power play for the wing T formation. The Delaware wing T was made legendary by Coach Tubby Raymond in Delaware with the Blue Hens for decades. And a lot of high schools have emulated it. And Nanticoke, when they have the personnel to do it, they run it tremendously. I mean,
the best known to run it is Southern Columbia.
Well, yeah.
They run a version of it, depending on who the quarterback is.
He runs that broken version because he has those athletes where they do believe in throwing the ball. We got a late flag coming in.
Might be an unsportsmanlike. Here's the run again.
There's that power play that we talked about. Coming up inside, again, there's just too much penetration from Crestwood's defensive line. What you're looking for
with personal foul. That way.
Oh.
Okay, move it back 15.
So it goes against Nanticoke. Maybe some frustration setting in. Have a post play, so that should bring up third down. And Coach Bruza, I know, wants his teams to play within themselves, not get too emotional.
Play physically,
Yeah.
and you don't want to throttle the players down and say, well, don't. But again, there's a lot of frustration being down 35-0.
And we will have the running clock the rest of the half as long as this score remains the same. So 3rd and 23 on the way. And Jaskulski taken down by Kakalachik. Well,
Nice job in here by the Trojans. Look at that. They open up. The guard seals down. The tackle kicks out. That forms that nice running lane in there. And Joskowski just picks up 8 yards on that.
but it was 3rd down, now 4th down on the way. And to see if they can get the snap fixed. Good snap. And went off his middle of his foot. And they'll down it at the 42 of the Comets.
The puck is touched down at the 42-yard line. Crestwood takes over. 1st down and 10 at their own 42.
Going to bring in some of the backups now, including, we'll see number 34, Brendan Dennis, who played well in that 2nd quarter when he was forced into.
He showed that he can run. He showed he can throw. And more importantly, the coach and the Comets, that he can lead this offense where they want to go.
We're going to have some clean jerseys in there, so bear with us. We see Benjamin is still in there with Romanowski to the eye, and it will be Dennis underneath center, the 6-foot sophomore. Benjamin finds room to the left side. Up near midfield he goes.
Caleb Benjamin again carries for
Well, the Trojans right now, fatigue is definitely setting in. Long offensive drives. Here we go. Just a nice ISO play off the off tackle. Nice stiff arm right there. Number 9 coming in there. John Cuss for the Trojans for the first hit in the tackle.
It goes backwards and forwards and backwards.
Fullback stood up. And number 9 in there, you got a name? Oh, that's Cuss?
That's Cuss.
Yep, that is the punter, also now playing on defense.
Again, they just run that fullback, that quick hitter, the fullback trap. But Nanticoke does a nice job stepping up, plugging that hole for a real short gain.
Romanowski was the ball carrier. Stopped after a gain of 2. 3rd down and 2.
We didn't talk about a lot about the offensive line for Crestwood. I mean, they look so dominant, but they did have some injuries coming in. He was saying he was 6 deep, and then all of a sudden they had to go 8 deep. That just shows what the weight room is doing as they go up for a first down.
And that they really have bought into what coach is selling, the system that they have, the offense that he's implemented. Right here again, quarterback sneak, getting that first down, keeping that drive alive, and more importantly, that he's allowing himself, Brendan Dennis is allowing himself to maintain more playing reps out there. But Bob, you were saying about the offensive line, coach lost 2 senior offensive linemen, and you would think the panic button would have been pushed, but these kids have stepped up. We've heard that all the time, the next man up mentality, and these kids have done a great job, and they haven't really, I'd hate to see how good those senior offensive linemen would have made this team even that much better.
Well, they will face a second half of the schedule after Holy Redeemer. That's pretty tough. And that will tell you what kind of team they will have. Flag comes in, a great run on the outside. Chase Pugh in for a Hazelton area touchdown, but this one may be coming back.
I'm thinking it's not enough men on the line of scrimmage. It looked like the offensive line towards Crestwood side were really bowed back.
Okay. Okay, you want to take that back?
Little illegal motion is the call.
Okay, we have illegal formation on the offense, 5 men in the backfield. Repeat, first down.
You called it. You still have a good eye.
Well, you know, that's I do
One
have
eye.
only one good eye. But you'll see, again, a great job with the camera work there. You saw that, again, we talked about that when they line up. Bob, if I was the center and you were the left guard, your hand cannot be in where the ball is. And what they did was they lined their hands up at the heel of the center, and that's why they said there was 5 men in the backfield.
This time, Pugh has nowhere to go. Shooting in is Krasneski again, Sebastian Krasneski. He's called his name a couple times.
Boy, I'll tell you, he really is coming off that edge hard and did a great job taking him down. Just an ISO play, and when you get drugged down from behind like that, that's just great determination and grit on the part of the Trojans.
Great job by Jaskulski to blow up the play as he took on the fullback.
He did, and that's what you want. Take the fullback on in the backfield, and it shuts that tailback down.
Good fake by Dennis. With room down the sidelines, Brendan Dennis for a figure law first down inside Trojan territory.
I'll tell you what, Nick Kreitzer on that did a tremendous job with the stalk block. Great play fake right in there. Set him up with the ISO, bootleg around, and look at 17 out there, active on number 1 on Peyton Keppa, the Trojans, that sprung that for that extra yards.
24-yard gain for Brendan Dennis. But when you have a rushing attack and tailbacks that can run the ball, anytime the quarterback fakes it, they're going to, right?
You have to respect
There's a
what they have.
fumble. Pugh couldn't come up with it, and the Trojans do. Couldn't see who recovered that ball. It ran off too quick. Looked like a number 50, might have been number 50.
Yep, here we go.
It's just a handoff.
He just never.
Yeah.
By Nanticoke area.
He just never secured the ball. You always tell your running backs, form that basket, elbows up, and then close down, and that just didn't occur.
So a break for the Trojans. Let's see if they can get some points on the board. For the most part, though, Crestwood has done a good job not turning the ball over tonight.
Well, the turnovers on both teams were a concern, and they've just each team has one. No running room whatsoever for the Delaware Wing T here in Nanticoke.
That's Jaskulski again. Well, coming in, they only had 17 yards. Yes, 17 yards passing. They're not going to add up to that.
Look at it, number 52, number 7, number 42, 22 of that Crestwood defense. There's just nowhere. They're smothering this offense.
Referee stops it.
Got a dead ball, lining up in the neutral zone, number 70. Replay, second down.
Seen that a lot tonight.
And that's just
on both sides.
On both sides. It's not just on one side. Again, my biased opinion is the official on that sideline. Every official has one thing they're looking at, and that's what he's looking at. He's made every single one of those calls.
Inside they go. And the ball come out. They're say he's down, and let's see who carried the ball.
Again, you get what they call Bob blocking, big on big up there. They get a decent line search. They just get a little bit of a push the Trojans did.
Brosuski. Sorry, Brosuski. Yep. The big bro man.
Ashton Brosuski.
Number 40.
For the Trojans. Gains 6, 3rd and 9.
Again, that was a nice gain. Again, the offensive line shows glimmers that they can do it. They just have to now do it consistently.
Let's see if they want to go to the air to continue this, or they're going to do a quick out. And again, they're saying this a lateral? I don't think it was a lateral. They're saying a touchdown, off a lateral. Hazleton area touchdown, but that might have been behind the line of scrimmage.
The umpire he's calling to the side, Judge. Get over here. They want to discuss this.
See. Well, this is not the angle we need to see for that. The high angle would be the one to see.
Again, great heads-up play by number 5. That is Marcus Vinny.
Yep.
Viney.
Beanie, yep.
Beanie.
No, they're going to call it a lateral. There you see. The ball was in front of him.
No, that's not a lateral.
Yeah, that's not a lateral. The ball was in front of.
It was, unless they're saying,
Shiloh.
again, we all know he was behind the line of scrimmage, but the ball was thrown forward.
Ethan Shudak's extra point is good with 29.1 seconds to
29 seconds left, now 42-0 off the turnover, the fumble lateral. It's a forward pass.
That is a forward pass. I mean, look at the line of scrimmage where the ball was snapped. And
well, heads up for Vini though, just to say I'll pick it up and go, and you make the call.
You always tell your kids you play to the whistle, and you never know. And that was one of the plays where, hey, he was heads up and he got himself a touchdown. Bob, you mentioned Southern Columbia before. They're struggling. It's 61-0 right now over Warrior Run.
How about your Tunkhannock Tigers taking on Hazleton tonight?
Trying to get
it
down
was
to
14-7.
It says 14-7 at half right now.
Get an update on that. Dallas and Wilkes-Barre were in a battle. Valley West leading Pittston 20-7.
Williamsport 16, Berwick 7.
Valley West, it's 2017 now, Valley West over Pittston. And the third quarter. Dallas has extended their lead now over Wilkes-Barre in the third, 27-7. As we get set for another Lackawanna College kickoff. This one's going to carry into the end zone for a touchback.
Shudak's kick goes into the end zone, resulting in a touchback. The Trojans take over. First down and 10. The Trojan 20.
Those are the kicks I always like. I still say, and I would joke with the kids, if you kick it in the end zone, I get a chance to get out there as an old fat guy and run down the field one more time.
Tamaqua beating Riverside 37-8. Some other big news in the PIAA today as the third quarter winds down. The Philadelphia Catholic League has now said they will proceed with fall sports. So that's an interesting move. Lohman taken down quickly. And that's, that old Kakalachik kid, and that will do it. So a couple more touchdowns for the Comets, and looks like they're on their way to going to 3-0 as we go to the end of the third quarter.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome back to Friday Night Rivals. Now, everybody loves the band. They kind of bring these games to life. So I am talking to Nanticoke senior band member Haley Winborn. Haley, how excited are you to be playing tonight?
I am so excited. This is our first game of the season, and we're a little rusty on the stand tunes, but we're getting back in the funk of it, and I am so freaking excited. This is awesome.
Well, we are excited for you guys. Now, usually, you're packed in the stands, you're very close together playing your instruments. Talk to me about how that's looking a little different this year.
Well, we obviously have to stay 6 feet apart and wear our masks whenever we're not playing our instruments. During practice, we also have to stay in one straight line. Well, one line for drum line, one line for horn line. And as a drum major, it's a little difficult because you have to call out the commands, and it's a little muffled by the mask, but it's looking up for us.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are doing a great job regardless. Now, you mentioned to me that last week you guys didn't get to play. So what happened? What changed?
Well, the football team and the cheerleaders all stood up for us. We're at Nanticoke, we're a family. That's just what we do. We stand up for those who we care about. And quite frankly, I love the band. We are all together always. Whenever one of us is in trouble, we're all around them to help them get better, to help them improve upon their skills. It just feels good to be back in a family.
Well, Haley, thank you so much for talking to us, and I wish you luck with the rest of your senior year, okay? Bob, Jan, back to you guys.
Well, she should be excited about being back. The band, we've heard them all night in front of us.
And it's great.
They're loud.
I mean, when all the kids in high school, I always tell them in my classroom, get involved with something. It doesn't matter because these are the best years of your life. And the band, these guys are committed to their craft too.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. And in the first game, that was a couple weeks ago, of course, they couldn't be here, but they'll be back, and got a couple more home games for them coming up here at Nanticoke. So they're happy to be here, and a nice job at halftime performing in their orange shirts. So we have a timeout on the field. You saw the fumble recovery by Romanowski as Marcella got hit.
He got hit from the blind side by Wyatt Urbanovich that forced that ball out, and then we saw Brandon Romanowski pick it up, almost get in there. So now the Crestwood offense is back to work.
And it will be Mr. Dennis underneath center once again, the sophomore. Romanowski now dotting the I. A good job by, great spin. I was going to say, great job by the Trojans. But even better job at number 33. He's in for a Hazelton area touchdown. Honda touchdown.
Second effort all the way. The Trojans did a great job plugging that inside. And right there, you just saw that I will not stop. I've been in the weight room. I've been doing squats. I'm going to get there, and I'm just going to keep my legs pumping. Great balance. That was good for him. Nice job for the Crestwood offense.
Once again,
I guess that's icing on the cake for Romanowski. He gets the fumble. Now he gets to punch it in.
the extra point.
Shudak, another PAT. And he is perfect on the night, and it goes to 49-0, 10:52 remaining in this game.
In the game, the Comets 49, the Trojans nothing.
So it's one of those, just be happy to be out there and playing. I mean, you can't look at the scoreboard because the way things looked early on and through the summer, back and forth, just to get onto the field for one game has to feel pretty good.
Especially in these trying times. I mean, every day is a gift, and these young men out here that have been playing, and women that have been practicing forever, they're just happy to be there. And I know right now Nanticoke is struggling, obviously, but they're not quitting. Their kids on the sideline are still focused on the game. The coaches are coaching, and they're thinking about now next week. They're going to play this game out with their younger kids. Crestwood, I believe right now they're going to switch. Their offensive line was still in there, and I understand why Coach Ark would want to do that, because you have your second-string quarterback out there, and you don't want to risk him now getting injured by kids' inexperience on the offensive line.
So we'll tee this one back up. Play out this final 10:52 for the Lackawanna College kickoff. Ethan Shudak, another sophomore. Big sophomore class for the Comets. We talked about them all evening long. Little pooch. Still a live ball, taken up by Shiloh.
Nice move.
And Shiloh ran out of real estate on the sidelines.
Two LA detectives take on the most dangerous criminals in Los Angeles. LA's finest stars, Gabrielle Union as Jessica Alba as an unstoppable crime-fighting team. Monday night at 8 o'clock, only on Fox 56.
So let's see a new quarterback, number 8, Krasnewski, we saw him on the defensive side a little bit. And he's going to be taken down quickly. Get you a name. No, that's the name we don't have. 63 is not on the roster.
He's not on
there.
there.
You have a roster? Do you have a, I don't have a 63.
They go 62, 64. That's that new math they do.
Oh, good job. We apologize. We just don't have a name for him. He'd make a nice
Tremendous
tackle.
job.
Yep. Another loss for Nanticoke. Inside handoff to Brzezinski. Third down on the way.
Here we go. Nice job in there. Again, that's just that power with the wing back pulling up inside, acting as a pulling guard. And they ended up getting a few yards back after that loss.
Nice power run by Brzezinski, came in with 6 carries, add a couple more to that. And it is a figure law first down for the Trojans. They have been few and far between tonight.
It's the first one of the half right here. This is a great job. Just look at that halfback, seals the outside linebacker, and he just is, if I can quote you, Bob, rumble and bumble.
He was
and
bumbling.
he did a great job getting that first down for the Trojans.
Some white new shirts in there, clean jerseys. Good job on the inside, number 61, didn't it? Nice look for Sean Howells.
I mean, Ashton Brzezinski is number 40, the young man that carrying the ball. He's a sophomore, 6'1", 195 pounds. Bob, a lot of these teams we're seeing are playing underclassmen, and we're seeing a lot of success from those teams that really dedicate themselves to the weight room. And you're seeing that with Crestwood. You saw that with Wyoming area last year. You saw that with Dallas last year. So there's a pattern being done, and these kids are going to be buying into it so they can be successful.
Magnus Bibla, sophomore, with the tackle.
Down block, number 62 gets stuck inside. That's a great job by Nanticoke's right tackle to seal him inside.
Is Bowman getting the carry? Talked about trying to get him going tonight. Nothing fancy from Brzezinski.
Spins, gets him closer to that.
Yep.
4th and 2, a long 2.
I need just a small win and something, get points on the board. Get back to work Monday. All right, they have to get ready for their rival next week. They travel just down to Sansui to the Hanover area. We will be up in the Lackawanna League for Riverside and Old Forge as the Blue Devils play their first game of the season. Of course, we said the Vikings were losing to Tamaqua tonight, down in Schuylkill County.
You'll see this, number 64 for the Trojans, the left tackle. He's going to have to move himself up. If this game was closer, I'm sure the official would throw that saying 5 men in the backfield.
Challenge next week for some of these teams is hard hitting there will be the rain. We haven't seen a lot of it.
What?
Rain.
Rain.
The stuff that comes out of the air.
Oh.
And wet. It gets you wet.
Huh.
Yeah, we might see that next
wow.
week.
We definitely could use that. I'm looking at Nanticoke's field is bad.
Well, I know Old Forge's field could use it next week as well, but we don't want it too muddy for their game. So we head to the pizza capital of the world, and we'll to see if the rules change for us if we can actually have pizza. Brzezinski again.
Ashton's doing a nice job. They're giving him all the work on this drive right now. He's keeping it alive. He's getting first downs. He's getting big yardage to keep them moving, and more importantly, to try to get a score in here with the running clock.
We'll get a penalty.
Good discipline on Nanticoke.
Encroachment, number 56,
Now we'll
White.
gain them a
5-yard
first down
penalty.
the easy way.
First down.
They're marching towards the Allied Services red zone for the first time tonight. And they pick up a figure loft first down.
First down. And Nanticoke with the ball at the Crestwood 28.
I don't know if you can hear the band in our microphones or not, but it is like deafening to me all night long. Every time they play, my voice may get louder.
It's definitely reverberating with the window open in our booth, and it's just bouncing around. And Nanticoke has a pretty good sized band, but we know there's other schools that have 100 kids in it. If that was happening right now, we wouldn't be able to hear ourselves think.
Brzezinski, power run, he's rumbling and bubbling inside the Allied Services red zone for a figure law first down and goal.
He's a man on a mission on this when we see that replay. There's the band.
There's the band. And we're up top. They don't care about us.
This is just, again, this is just the fullback power, and they do a nice job. The offensive line, the halfback coming up, leading through, and he just keeps that determination, his legs pumping.
Brzezinski, now we're in the scrum again. Be just short.
No, coach isn't going to change what's working. If the play's working, you run it till they stop it. Again, same play. There you go. Now that time, number 25 for the Comets, that was Michael Antosh coming in at that linebacker spot. That really put a little bit of pressure and stopped him from scoring.
Another sophomore. We need players of the game. I think we're going to give it to the sophomore quarterback, Noah Schultz.
I would have to agree, stepping in his first varsity start.
I think it's someone on defense. I mean, it's either Logan Arnold, a senior, or Cole Kakalachik. Both were in there in a lot of tackles.
Kakalachik, he had
Arnold does have a touchdown.
He does, and he's been very good at their outside linebacker position. All their linebackers really did a tremendous job stepping up, and that's why you get paid the big money there,
We'll
Bob.
go with Logan Arnold, a senior. We'll get back to Kakalachik. I mean, he does have a touchdown through the air, so.
And that's a great football name.
Yes.
Kakalachik is kicking.
So, number 44 and number 6. We'll give it to the sophomore. First varsity start, he's going to pick up the win. 2 touchdowns on the ground, 1 through the air.
For a sophomore that just was told Monday that he's starting, that says a lot about the young man's.
And there's a Hazelton Honda touchdown.
For the Trojans.
For the Trojans. Brzezinski, the sophomore, takes it in. And I think we're going to have the. So. Sophie Lukowski, pink shoes and all, going to be in for the extra point. Sophie's kick, and it is up and good. We'll take our last. We are back at Frank Chinaski Stadium. Nanticoke gets on the board with a touchdown, and talk about the little wins. How about Sophie Lukowski taking the extra point?
Well, again, that's even better that a young lady's out there and she's enduring. She's part of this team.
Yep.
They've embraced her. She did her part.
She did.
That offensive line this last series did their part. I mean, the way they were running the ball, that's how the wing tee will work and operate. And again, it was more evenly matched because Crestwood had their second teamers in there, again, getting their most valuable experience that they can to build for that future.
So Nanticoke's schedule, we said at Hanover next week. They get Tunkhannock here in a couple weeks, another big school. Then Valley West, another big school.
Yep.
Then the defending state champs. And then finally they have to play in Wilkes-Barre against Redeemer, the last game of the season.
Again, Nanticoke does not have an easy schedule. They have a nice sideline, so they have some depth there, and they've just got to endure what's happened the first 3 weeks, unfortunately.
I knew Coach Brew was not complaining, just said it was tough because the schedule changed because of what was going on, and they started late. You liked the schedule before. You didn't like us after. Well, you got to start with Williamsport.
I mean, that's just tough. The Millionaires always have great athletes out there, and again, they tag some points on them. And
yeah, because Nanticoke's 3A this year, playing against a 6A team to start. So it's Pugh again. We saw him a little bit in the fourth quarter. Nice run up there. Give him about 16 yards.
Yeah, the junior running back is showing that he can handle the workload back there for the Comets.
Well, we were hoping for a close one since Petrosky was out, but give a lot of credit to Crestwood. I mean, really came in, looked a little bit off first series, but then they got running back to what they wanted to do, one of those keys to the game, right?
Absolutely.
Stay the course.
And it was stay the course the whole time, and that's, Coach Ark has emphasized that to his team. The Trojans, though, again, defensively, they were preparing more for a passing game, and then when you get this running attack, and they have three guys that really, it was a three-headed attack tonight for the Comets, and they just opened up that passing game.
Real quickly, as we wind down, I was really didn't see much go bad from the center quarterback exchange. I mean, really, they did a nice. There was no fumbles at all.
There was none, and there was only one I remember where a handoff kind of was almost lost. But again, credit to how hard these kids are working, and again, they were not going to be denied tonight coming into Nanticoke Stadium.
They weren't. We're going to do the new wave, thank you, sportsmanship, and we'll give you the final score, and then Hannah will be back with our players of the game and hand over our Allied Services plaque to the Crestwood Comets. The final score, 49-7.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
Led by a sophomore class that looks pretty talented, the Comets win this one and improve to 3-0. Nanticoke drops to 0-3, and there you see the final score. Coach Art Angeli getting ready for Holy Redeemer. I'm sure he'll find something on film to discuss next week that went wrong, but he has to be very happy with the way his two sophomore quarterbacks played.
They just stepped in, and it's like they've been playing for 2 years now in his system. And I'm sure right now Coach Arcangeli's telling his kids, don't rest on your laurels. Holy Redeemer, they're trying. They've been trying for years. We can't take them lightly, and he's going to stay the course this week.
Nanticoke back to work for rivalry game. You got to get up for that. But they have some work to do. At times they look pretty good on defense, but at times they look pretty good on offense, and then they just something happens.
And again, right now, Coach Bruza, I know, losing 49-7, there's not much positive you can say. And one thing I did notice, nobody got hurt for the Trojans. So that's big. Again, the experience this team has with some of the big-sized kids they have, in a heartbeat it could turn around. They just need to get that confidence, which it appears to me is a little bit lacking on this team for the Trojans.
Hannah lining up our Allied Services players of the game, and we'll go down to her shortly. She'll present also the FNR championship plaque. We'll have Noah Schultz and Mr. Logan Arnold. And Hannah?
All right, I am joined by tonight's players of the game. We're going to start with Noah Schultz. You're only a sophomore. You were an essential player tonight. What went right for your team?
I just had the blocks all night, and I just ran the ball like I always do.
Do you have any personal goals for next game?
No, just play hard.
keep playing the way you did tonight.
Yep.
All right, now for you, congratulations.
Thank you.
Player of the game.
Thank
What
you.
went right for you and your team?
Well, for us all week, defense, it was a great mindset. We had a bad Thursday practice, but our team went back in the locker room. We came back out. We had a good practice, and we kind of finished the way we wanted to. Like, we knew like this game wasn't going to be just a shrug off the shoulders. Like the first couple series, they went a little wrong, but we came back strong and we got the job done.
Now, how do you think this win will help you guys for your next game?
Definitely big win. Like us going 3-0 is something that us seniors wanted to do, and 4-0, 5-0, we want to go 1-0 every week, so it's great.
All right, well, congratulations to you both.
Thank you guys.
Very much.
Thank you for having us. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank
Bob
you,
and
guys.
Jan, back to you.
Yep. Thank you, Hannah. Doing our social distance thing, so
Absolutely.
we're glad they came out and joined us, and they'll head back up and head off to Crestwood, up to Mountaintop, and get ready for.
Wow, they're going to the big top right now in the end zone.
Yeah, we haven't shown that tonight, but they're in a tent that looks like a circus tent. Has a nice big red and white top. It is the big top. Thank you, Jan. We did not have a shot of that tonight, but that's okay.
Oh, all right, now
our crew is on the ball, and we'll show it to you quickly as we wrap things up.
that's why we have the best crew in the
That's
business.
right. Okay, we want to thank our crew from Fox 56 Sports, doing an awesome job. As always, want to thank the Nanticoke School District for allowing us to come down. We want to thank everyone for watching. It was great to see fans. It was great to hear the band. It was awesome to see the cheerleaders. You know, next week, hopefully, we have a better game, as we'll have Riverside and Old Forge back Friday night at 7 o'clock. Check out Jan and I. We'll have a vlog next week on our Facebook and on our Twitter page. For Jan Cechek and Hannah O'Reilly, this is Bob Ide saying so long from Nanticoke.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.